It's not unusual for conservatives to wax poetic about the Reagan era. And no one is as good of an example as this as Pat Robertson recently on the 700 Club. Let's take a look.
I wish Reagan was rise from the dead and go back. He was a great president. The biggest thing is Reagan just believed in America. It was real simple. He believed in America. He believed in foundational values, and he wasn't ashamed to enunciate them. The current president does not believe in America. He does not believe in the fundamental values. He's raised in a different environment entirely, and his mentors have been leftists who don't really love this country.
He believed in America, and that's pretty much all you need to do in order to win in a Republican primary, apparently, or to be president, according to Pat Robertson's mind. Interesting. I don't think it works like that. Maybe if it were Neverland. Because, you kind of have to believe for that to... Whatever, right? Pat Robertson wishes that he could bring back zombie Reagan so that Reagan could take control of America today and raise taxes 11 times and ban assault weapons. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, look, this really strange fawning and adulation over Ronald Reagan from the right it's almost as, look, we talked earlier about, Al Gore and religion and everything like that, and Lindsey Graham saying that Al Gore is trying to create a religion around climate change, which is ridiculous on its face. But here's Pat Robertson and some of the right wing making a religion out of Ronald Reagan. And if you remember the Scott Walker story that was proved not to be true, of him reportedly wanting to touch the Bible of Reagan, to be anointed by Reagan. And that's what it comes to. That's something that religion kind of promotes, don't you think? It's almost like they're trying to make Ronald Reagan Jesus, the next Republican Jesus. Because the real Jesus has some problems. That whole feeding the poor, hating the bankers, socialism thing, right? So they got to find somebody else. And who better than St. Ronald Reagan, who, like I said, raised taxes 11 times. Yes, he did lower the income tax. Yes, he did a lot of damage to America. And we're still recovering from a lot of the stuff that Reagan did. But he wasn't quite as right-wing as current Republicans really kind of put him up to be. And that's why he's suffering more of the Jesus syndrome. And just like Jesus, Pat Robertson wants to bring him back to the dead so he can come back and rule. Fascinating how Republicans work. Fascinating how they just love that Ronald Reagan. Like, yes, Reagan. If only we had Reagan, everything would be great. I beg to differ. But then again, I was never a fan of Reagan.